The first ingredient for these cookies is going to be oat flour. If you don't have pre-made oat flour, you can just blend up oats and then you will have oat flour. I'm using the brand West Canada Foods, and this is linked down below along with my discount code. I'm doing about a 1/4 cup. I'm going to add in a scoop of vanilla protein powder and then 1/2 cup of whole oats. I'm going to be using quick oats. You could also do old-fashioned or rolled oats, whatever you have. 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Also going to add in some cinnamon and a few cracks of salt. 1/4 cup of unsweetened applesauce. I'm going to add the juice of a lemon because these are lemon blackberry cookies. Now mix this together, and once you mix it, it should turn into a thick dough consistency. Now you can add any add-ins that you want. I'm going to be doing fresh blackberries. This is about 1/2 cup, and mix that again. You can either bake these at 350 for around 8 to 10 minutes or air fry them like I'm going to. Take a big heaping tablespoon and put it into your air fryer or out onto a cookie sheet lined with parchment paper. And now I'm going to air fry these. The cookies are done and out of the air fryer. They're nice and warm, so let's do a taste test. They smell really good. The blackberries are such a bright, refreshing flavor with the lemon. It's an amazing combo. Not overly sweet, super nice and soft, perfect for a breakfast cookie. The first ingredient for these brownies is going to be some chocolate. I'm going to be using this HU or HU dark chocolate. This is the salty one. And I have 2 squares that I'm going to microwave in 15-second increments until it is nice and smooth and melted. Okay, so 1 minute was actually perfect, and now this is nice and smooth and silky. To the melted chocolate, I'm going to add about a 1/4 cup of unsweetened applesauce, 1/3 cup of fresh blackberries, 1 teaspoon of vanilla powder. You can also do regular vanilla extract. Now I'm going to mix this together and mash the blackberries a little bit. I'm adding in about a 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour. Somebody asked me yesterday why I use all-purpose flour and not whole grain. I said it's because we have all-purpose flour in my kitchen, and if you want to use whole grain, you can. 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder, a little bit of salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking powder. And mix this up again. And it's like a thick batter consistency. I'm going to pour this batter into a small baking dish. And if you want to, you could also add some extra fresh blackberries on top. You can either bake or air fry this at 350 degrees. If you bake it for around 16 to 18 minutes, it's going to be more gooey brownies. Whereas if you want more cakey brownies, then bake them for 20 minutes. I just took it out of the air fryer, and this is what it looks like. I'm going to cut it in half, so I have 2 brownies. It looks so good. Taste test. Consistency is super nice. It definitely is a more like rich chocolatey flavor, but still very good. I really like it. First step for this recipe, I'm going to take about 1/2 a block of tofu and chop it into cubes. This is extra firm tofu, about that size. Now I'm going to put the tofu cubes into a bowl. I'm gonna add a tablespoon of soy sauce, also some salt and pepper. Just kind of toss that to coat evenly. 1/2 tablespoon of cornstarch, and shake that again. I'm going to place the cubes in my air fryer basket. Air fry them at 375 for 15 minutes, shaking every 5 minutes. While the tofu is air frying, I'm gonna get started on the blackberry balsamic sauce. I'm gonna add all the ingredients to a pot, starting with a heaping 1/2 cup of blackberries, 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar, a tablespoon of agave syrup or sweetener of your choice, and some salt. I'm going to set this to medium heat and allow it to soften up. I simmered the sauce until it turned into like a loose jam consistency. Now I'm going to add my tofu cubes. Toss them in the sauce until they're all evenly coated. Serve with whatever sides you want. I'm gonna be having it with some turnip and green beans. To a blender, we're gonna add 1 small banana, fresh or frozen, 1.5 cups of frozen mango, 1.5 cups of frozen blackberries, heaping scoop of vanilla protein powder, and liquid of choice. You could do milk or water or juice, whatever you like. Depending on how thick you want it, you can add more or less liquid. I'm gonna keep mine pretty thick today. I want it to be more of a smoothie bowl consistency. Just look at that. I would have to say this is one of the thickest smoothie bowls I've ever made. Add toppings if you want, and enjoy. First ingredient is going to be some frozen banana. This is about 1.5. Frozen blackberries, fresh raspberries or frozen, and a scoop of vanilla protein powder. You could also add some vanilla extract if you want, some ice, cinnamon, sweetener of choice. I'm just gonna keep it simple and have these 4 ingredients. So of course we need a liquid. You can do any milk of choice. I'm gonna do water, maybe about a cup or so, maybe a little bit more. A pretty color. Taste test. Really great berry banana flavor, obviously. I think this is a super easy go-to smoothie to add into your rotation. To begin, I'm going to add 1/4 cup of oat milk to a bowl, and you can do any type of milk that you like. And to the milk, I'm gonna add 1/4 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, and then mix this up and set aside. To a separate bowl, I'm going to add 1/2 cup of rolled oats. Also use quick oats or really whatever oats you have or want. 3 tablespoons of unsweetened applesauce, 1/2 tablespoon of baking powder, some cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I'm gonna be using powder, but you could also use regular vanilla extract, and some salt. To this mixture, I'm going to mix in the oat milk and vinegar. Set this aside for a few minutes for the oats to soak in the liquid. I'm going to add some frozen blackberries into the batter and mix that up again. I have a pan going over medium heat, and I sprayed it with some coconut oil spray, and I'm going to add some of this batter. To a bowl, I'm adding 1 cup of chickpeas. I'm gonna add in just a little bit of oat milk. This is gonna help us mash these chickpeas up. If you have vegan yogurt or sour cream, those will also work. I'm gonna add in some salt, fresh blackberries, and we're going to mince this fresh basil and add it to the salad as well. I'm also adding some balsamic vinegar. Take a fork and mash it up until it reaches your desired consistency. This is a good consistency for me. It's still pretty thick. You could have this on a sandwich, in a wrap. You could have it on its own as a salad. I'm going to have mine with some crackers, almost like chips and dip. Enjoy.